are good at your home. Okay, so before starting our today's lecture, I would like to ask you that previously in that lecture what we have completed is clear to you about the digestion. Second we have started now. Second steps of nutrition, that is digestion. Clear? Second step, that is digestion we have started. So as we know that the digestion starts from mouth. Okay, so we have started from mouth, then to esophagus. We have completed. Clear? Now today, which topic we are going to start in our lecture? That is small intestine. Small intestines. What? After the esophagus, the word comes small intestine, and it's here the absorption of food takes place. Clear? Absorption of food takes place. But how? That we are going to discuss. So just before starting our lecture, it's better take out your books and go through it, as I am just going through it with you all. In small intestine is a highly coiled, about 7.5 meter long tube. Digestion of all types of foods is carried out and completed here. That means whatever we are taking through our mouth, all the processes are taking over here, and it's done. Now what happened? Absorption of digested food also takes place in the small intestine, and the absorbed food is passed into blood system, through which the nutrients reach all the parts of the body. Clear? That means whatever we are taking, it's important, and the absorption of food done here means from the we can say the food which we have inhaled, from the all the nutrients present in that has been just absorbed and passed through our blood system, so that we can get all the nutrients for our body for just do our daily life process. Okay, so now what happened? How the digestion of process takes place in small intestine. So let's study. The first one is for the digestion in small intestine, secretions are from the liver and pancreas. Pancreas are secreted. So secretions, these are important. Secretions from liver and pancreas are important. Clear? Second, what? Second is digestive juice secreted by small intestine, and second is digestive juices that are secreted by small intestine itself. Okay, so now what happened? Now the two word comes first, liver and pancreas. That means by this we can understand pancreas and liver two are those organs which also help us for the digestion process. So now what happens in liver? The word liver comes. Now what happens? What does liver do? Exactly, liver is the largest gland in our body, and it is reddish brown gland. That means what are the properties? First property, it is a largest gland of our body. Okay. Second, it is reddish brown in color. It is reddish brown in color. Okay. Next further with the chapter, they are located in the upper part of the abdomen in the side. See, on the left side of your book, one diagram is there, and in that you can see clearly how the liver looks like. Now what the liver secretes? It secretes a bile juice which helps in the digestion of fats. Number third, it secretes bile juice digestion of fats. Now, where is the bile juice stored? They usually stored in one of our sac, that is called gallbladder. Okay, gallbladder, it is also a important sac where all the juices has been stored just as the liver secretes. Now, what happens next is the pancreas. What are the features for the pancreas? Pancreas is also a pancreas. We can say pancreas is also a cream colored gland, cream colored gland. Okay. What are the features for this? What does this state? The pancreatic juice acts on protein, starch and fats and changes into a similar forms. Okay. So they just also secrete juices and secretes. Now what happens? As a result of digestion in the small intestine, all the components, you know all the components which we know that carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, fats, all are just broken down into simpler forms. But in what way they used to come? So number one, we are going to see the carbohydrates. We can say the carbohydrates changes into sugar, simple sugar, changes into simple sugar, that is glucose. Simple sugar, that is glucose. Clear? Now now what? Fats are converted into, where does the fats convert? Fats are converted into fatty acids. Number 2, fats are converted into fatty acids. Okay. Number 3, fatty acids and glycerol. Now number 3 is proteins converted into amino acids. Proteins converted into amino acids. Now here we complete our digestion process takes place. That I said you that starts from mouth, also because just come back to small intestine. In that some more glands used to help, that is pancreas and liver. They secrete juices from their absorption, from the food. Some nutrients has been absorbed, that has been passed through our blood system, so that our body gets all type of nutrition for this. Okay. Now after this also, as a result, all the components used to be digested and they are broken down in some simpler, that I have said you, carbohydrates in we can say glucose, then fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins into amino acids. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you all now. But now before end of our lecture, I also want to discuss, on the above there is a go through to study the effect of saliva on food. That question also I am going to test, that test I am going to discuss with you. Now what happened in this? Here, you can see in the figure 2 test tubes are there, isn't it? 2 test tubes are there. Okay, so I am just for your easier way, I am just drawing the sections so that it will be easier for you to understand. Okay. So I can make you understand clearly in this, and it will be easier for you to understand too. So this is a 2 test tubes I have taken, and it's in it we are dropping something, okay? And okay, we have taken here 2 test tubes. Some things has been dropped. Here are the some we can say boiled chewed rice, and there's some only boiled rice, not the chewed one. Okay. So now in this, what happens? This is an both the things drops are. This both drops are iodine solution. Iodine solution, and here's some water is there in this. Okay, and this is up till here, water is there. Okay. Now what happens in this test? We have taken some test tubes, boiled rice are there, iodine solution is there, and water. Okay. So now what happens? In this first, we have taken some boiled rice and we chewed for 4 and 5 minutes in your mouth while you are taking. So what happens? You will chew the boiled rice. Okay. Clear? So what happens in that? It will you will chew for 5 minutes, and then you will take a full spoon of that and you will keep in this number 1 test tube. You will just keep that chewed one, boiled chewed rice in this, and only some portions of boiled rice in the test tube. Now what happens? We will add 5 ml of distilled water. This is distilled water. Now what is distilled water? Exactly, the distilled water is what we can say. Distilled water is a water that has been boiled into vapor. So distilled water is a water that has been boiled into vapor, and then condensed back into liquid, and condensed back into liquid, condensed back into liquid in a separate container, So by this process we are getting distilled water, and here we are using same distilled water. Okay. After adding 5 ml of distilled water in both the test tubes, and then we are going to drop 2 drops of iodine solution in first, also in the second, in both them. Now what is the absorption? In the first one, that is in the first test tube, what we will observe that there is no change in the food, or maybe slightly grayish color it will happen, and the mixture in the test tube, this one, it will turns to blue black. So why is it happen? The question arises now, why is it happens? The boiled chewed rice doesn't change the color, and the boiled rice changes the color blue black. So is it happens because in the test tube A, the starch of the boiled rice was converted to sugar while chewing. As during chewing time, what happens? The boiled rice, as you are chewing, the secretions, the saliva which was secreted by the salivary glands, and during that, when mixed with the boiled rice, saliva, they become into the paste. But that has been, what happened? The starch being complex, it has been changed into sugar, simple form. Okay. So the boiled rice, chewed one, becomes in simple. They doesn't have any starch present right now. And in the boiled one, the same. Previously, which we have boiled and just kept in the test tube, in that section, starch was present within the boiled rice. So after pouring iodine solution, we observe that being the chewed one boiled rice, no changes are done, and we know that the starch, if we do any iodine solution, pour solution over starch, it will turn to blue black. So as in the boiled rice having starch, they turns to blue black. I think it's clear to you all the observations. So what happens of effect of saliva on our food? This is a way we can just identify for the sugar and the starch also. Simple, it can be seen as the one boiled and chewed rice was, when mixed with saliva, no color changes, and this remaining one changes. So I hope this has been understood by you, and it's clear to you. So today we have completed our second step, digestion of food. Okay. Now in our next lecture we are going to discuss about absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Three other, so that it will be easier for you to now continue. First portion, digestion, I have completed with teeth and the structure of the tooth. Second was with mouth, esophagus, and small intestine. Third will be starting with the same absorption, assimilation, and that. And on the contrary of that, only one thing you have to do. There some questions are attachment I have done with the assignment section. And second, this go through this effect, the effect of saliva that we have completed on our board. With this explanation, try to complete it. Okay. Thank you for today. Have a nice day.